we're going to use if-else statements in our Golang templates. We're also going to use some comparison functions, which are going to return the same thing as a comparison operator, but like I said, they're still technically a function. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So we're running our server, and we're registering a path /welcome to the handler welcome handler. And when the welcome handler function runs, it's going to use the execute template method. We're going to pass it our writer, we're going to pass it our template, and we're also going to pass it a piece of data. So our variable u is of type user, and type user is just a struct with a name field, a language field, and a member field. And as you can see, we have all three of these right here inside of our variable. So let's go ahead and take a look at our template. In our membership template, what we want to do is we want to see if this person's a member or not. So if they are a member, we want to thank them for joining, and if they're not, we want to ask them kindly to sign up. So to do this, we're going to use an if statement. Now, one thing before we go any further, when I'm referring to something like this, I'm probably going to use the word pipeline. So a pipeline can be anything like a simple value. So this is just a field value. Or it could be a function, which we haven't covered yet, method call. It could be multiple arguments. It could be a whole chain of different things that are going to return a value. But anyway, so our pipeline here is just going to be the member field. So if this is not empty, we're going to go ahead and display this, and then this won't get displayed. So anyway, how do we know when something is empty? Well, that depends. If it's false, if it's 0, any nil pointer or interface value, any of those, it's going to be empty, and then it won't run this, and then the next section would run. Notice that this isn't an if-else, this is just an else statement. So this is going to run regardless if this one doesn't run. So we could make this an if-else statement, but we'd have to throw something in there to compare. But anyway, let's go ahead and run this. And we'll go over to our browser. All right, please sign up to enjoy our membership benefits. So as you can see here, this was not true. And if we go back and look at our data that we passed in, he was not a member. So since he wasn't a member, it didn't pass in the first message. So let's go ahead and change this, and we're going to use someone. We're going to use Juan here, who is a member. Refresh our page, and we're thanking him for joining. So this is pretty helpful if we're just looking if something's empty or not, but we're going to want to use some comparison I'm going to probably get that wrong several times, some comparison functions. So anyway, let's go ahead and move to our next example, and we're going to use the membership 2 template. So we'll change that there, and let's go ahead and take a look at it. So just for reference, I'm going to go ahead and print the whole piece of data that we're passing in so we can see that for reference. Anyway, like I said, binary comparison operators defined as functions. So an operator like this, you would put in between two different operands, but with these functions, they're going to work a little bit different. We're actually going to go ahead and put the operator function in front, and then we're going to go ahead and leave a space, give it our first parameter, give it another space, give it our second parameter. So anyway, we're printing these three off, and we just want to kind of show what language this person is. So hey, is this equal? Is the language field, is this English? Is it Mandarin? Is it Spanish? And it'd just be something something visually that we can reference. But anyway, what we're really trying to accomplish here is we want to give a greeting. We want to say, hey, we want to say hello if their preferred language is English. We want to say ni hao if their preferred language is Mandarin, and we want to say hola if their preferred language is Spanish. And if we can't figure out what the language is, we want to just go ahead and print off a whole bunch of them, and hopefully our individual knows one of them. But anyway, let's go back to main.go, and let's just go ahead and run this. All right, we get hola. So like we said, in the language field it had Spanish, and since it was equal, that's what we got back. So first it checked if the language was equal to English. It was not, so this did not execute. It checked to see if, our next one, if else statement checked if in the language field if it was equal to Mandarin. It was not. And then finally, since Spanish is, the string Spanish is equal to the string Spanish, we get hola. Let's go ahead and run another one. All right, ni hao. At least I hope I'm saying that right. Like we said, since the language field holds the string Mandarin, which is equal to Mandarin, it returns true here. Now, looking back at this right here, that top part where we're just printing off, let's get that in the browser actually. So we have the equal function, our first variable and second variable. It's either going to pass back a false or a true. So, and if the if statement gets a true or a false, then we know whether it's going to execute or it's not going to execute. And you know what? Let's go ahead and let's make the default run. So we have someone here with a language that we don't know. So hopefully this last section here will run and it'll just print off a whole bunch of different greetings. There we go. We get all 3 of our greetings. Now we were just using the equal function, but anything that we have like these other comparison operators we have here, we have not equal to, just like the operator. We have less than, equal to. We have a greater than, and our greater than or equal to. I'm not going to go over those. I have a video for comparison operators already in the Golang Basics course. You can go ahead and take a look at that if you'd like. But anyway, just remember that these are functions. So we're not going to put it in between. We're just going to put our function, then we're going to give it our first variable, space, then our next variable. But anyway, I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.